Welcome to ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Karen.
Hello everybody, I am Shane. And today we are looking at part 2 of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz.
That's right.
So in part 1, remember Dorothy gets, swept off to a whole new land
by the cyclone.
By the cyclone, and she's taken away from her home, which is in Kansas. And she's taken to this wonderful Wizard of Oz world, right? This whole new world, right?
But I think, for her, she probably feels out of place because it's a strange place. She doesn't know anyone, and she probably feels very, very scared.
Well, a lot of people, including you and me, have gone from their home to another world, basically.
That's
like when
true.
I came to Taiwan, it was like a new world to me.
So you were like Dorothy, right?
Yeah, it's like, you meet people like who are very curious about you, maybe people who are not so nice. You meet some kind people, but it's really having to get used to all the different things that are not like home. Different language, different food. And it could be both exciting and scary. And it's very easy to feel homesick.
You are absolutely right. But I think along the way, sometimes you'll make friends who are very, very supportive, and then it will make you feel more like home. And I think that's probably what's going to happen to Dorothy too.
You think so?
Yeah, I think she's gonna meet some wonderful friends along the way.
Okay, well, let's find out what happens to Dorothy in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz Part 2.
Dorothy begins her long journey. On the path, she meets the Scarecrow, Tin Woodman, and Cowardly Lion. The first wants a brain, the second longs for a heart, and the third desires to be brave.
So today we are looking at part 2 of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And we're going to find out what happens to Dorothy now, because we all know that she wants to go home and the Good Witch advised her to find the Wizard of Oz.
Okay, so let's start. Dorothy begins her long journey, right, to the Emerald City.
That's
to
right.
find the Wizard of Oz. Now, what does it mean to begin? Begin just means to start doing something. So here she is starting to go or do this journey, to try to find this wizard. So you can say, for example, I began my homework when I got home from school.
What a good student you are.
I'm a great student.
Okay, let's go back to the story. On the path, she meets the Scarecrow, Tin Woodman, and Cowardly Lion. So these are the 3 friends that she meets along the way.
Right.
Okay, so the Scarecrow, Tin Woodman, and Cowardly Lion. So we're talking about on the path.
Right.
So what does it mean when I say path? So that is a noun. A path is a track or way that people or things follow. For example, a path can be a trail through the woods, a road, or a course of action. For example, we followed a winding path through the woods.
Oh, okay.
Hello, I'm Tina. 我们来看一下刚刚课文里提到的单字。第一个 begin 动词开始，它的3态是 begin, began, begun. The meeting will begin at 10 a.m. 会议将于上午10点开始。下一个单字 path 名词道路。This path can take you to the beach. 这条路可以通到那座海滩。 那我们接着回到课文当中。
All right, so let's find out what happens next. The first wants a brain.
So the first one is the scarecrow, right?
Is the scarecrow.
Okay.
He wants a brain. The second longs for a heart, which is the Tin Woodman, right? Or sometimes commonly called the Tin Man, right? And the third desires to be brave. So that means the lion, he's a cowardly lion. If you're a coward, that means you're scared of a lot of things. So he desires to be brave. So a brain, what is a brain? So we know that the scarecrow wants a brain. The brain is the organ. The organ is basically just like means the body parts that are inside of you we call organs. So the organ inside the head that controls movements, thought, memory, and feeling. So that is your brain. So for example, I felt like my brain hurt after taking the test.
Maybe the test was too difficult,
Too difficult, right?
Okay, and we're also looking at this word here, brave. And that is an adjective. Brave means having or showing courage or boldness in the face of danger or difficulty. So if you're facing something that is a little bit scary and then you think, that's okay, I have the courage to take on this challenging task or, do something to face your fear. So that is called being brave. For example, you can say, he was a brave soldier. Well, we all know that being a soldier, you would have to be brave, right?
Right, if you're going into battle or into a war, or maybe you don't have to do those things, but you might have to do them, you would need some bravery, right?
Exactly.
You can't be like the lion, the cowardly lion. He wants to be brave.
Exactly. So we know that the scarecrow wants a brain. Maybe the scarecrow thinks that he's not too smart, right? And the Tin Woodman wants a heart, so maybe he wants to be able to feel different things.
Yeah, like feel emotions, feel love, feel sadness.
Exactly.
Just feel, because that's a big part of being human, right?
我们来看刚刚提到的单字 brain 名词，头脑、智慧。Paul used his brain to solve the puzzle. Paul 动脑解决这个谜题。下一个单字 brave 形容词，勇敢的。The brave man saved the little boy. 那位勇敢的男子拯救了小男孩。文法的部分刚刚提到了这个短语 long for something。渴望某事物 long 在这里是动词用法。我们来看看这个例句 Ben longs for a new adventure. Ben 渴望一场新的冒险。Adventure 指的是冒险。那我们接着回到课文当中。
So all of these characters lack something. They don't have something that they want to make them more complete or maybe better version of themselves.
Exactly. And now we know that Dorothy just wants to go home.
Yeah.
They become friends and work together to reach the Emerald City. There, they tell the great wizard their wishes. Oz agrees to help them, but they must kill a wicked witch first. The friends accept the task and go to the witch's land. The witch doesn't make it easy for them. However, the friends succeed in the end.
Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so before the break, Dorothy begins her journey, right? To go try to find this wizard so she can get back home. Now, along her journey, she meets some, well, kind of like people, some characters.
That's right.
Let's call them characters. She meets a scarecrow and the scarecrow wants a brain, right? She also meets a Tin Woodman, and he wants a heart. And she meets a cowardly lion, and this lion wants courage, right? He doesn't want to be afraid anymore. So she's now met these people, or these characters, and let's find out what happens when she gets to know them.
All right. Okay, so the story continues. They become friends and work together to reach the Emerald City. There, they tell the great wizard their wishes. Okay, so I guess they did become friends, and then they're working together, and now Dorothy probably doesn't feel so lonely anymore.
Yeah, now she's got some friends, and they're going to help her reach the Emerald City, so eventually she could get home. And luckily, they find their way to the Great Wizard. And there, all of them tell the Great Wizard their wishes because she wishes to get home. You know, the Scarecrow is wishing for a brain. We've got the Tin Man who's wishing for a heart. And this Cowardly Lion who wishes for courage. So they finally meet the Great Wizard. So continuing, Oz agrees to help them, but they must kill a wicked witch first.
So he's not just going to help them. Well, they have to do something in order for the Oz or the wizard to help them, right?
That's right. There's no such thing as a free lunch. We say that, it's a saying in English, just means, you know, if you get something, you usually have to give something.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
And in this case, they have to kill a wicked witch first. The friends accept the task and go to the witch's land. The witch doesn't make it easy for them. Okay, so when you say the witch doesn't make it easy for them, maybe it's hard for them to kill the witch. Maybe the witch has really strong magical powers, right?
Yeah, so to make it easy just means to make something less difficult or more easy to achieve. So she does not make it less difficult for them. She does not make it easy for them to achieve. She makes it difficult for them. However, the friends succeed in the end.
Yay!
What's it mean to succeed?
Well, to succeed, that is a verb. Succeed means to achieve something you were trying to do, like reaching a goal or getting what you wanted. It basically means to do well or be successful. So being successful is the adjective for this word, right? Okay. So for example, you can say, if you practice hard, you can succeed in learning to ride your bike. So if you practice really hard every single day, you will make it. You will definitely learn how to ride your bike.
Do you know what else takes a lot of practice to succeed in doing?
Learning English.
That's right. It takes a lot of practice. You have to practice hard.
But you can succeed.
You can do it. You can learn English.
That's right.
Okay, continuing. In the end, which basically, it just means eventually or at last.
刚刚课文有提到这个单字 succeed 动词成功 Mary succeeded and became the team leader. Mary 成功了，成为了队长。文法的部分刚刚提到了这两个短语。第一个 make it easy 使变得轻松容易。我们来看看这个例句 The map makes it easy to find your way. 地图让找路变简单了。下一个文法 in the end 最终最后，这是一个副词片语。我们来看看这个例句 We decided to stay home in the end. 最终我们决定待在家里。以上是今天的讲解，同学们要记得复习哦。
So it looks like they've now killed this witch.
That's right.
So
they can all get their wishes, right?
Well, we're hoping that's what's going to happen because that is the promise that the Wizard of Oz has promised them.
Exactly.
So,
but wait, it sounds like the ending already, but I thought we have part 3.
we do have a part 3, so we're going to find out what happens now that they achieved their goal. And hopefully everyone will get their wishes granted.
That's right. I hope the Wizard of Oz will keep his promise.
Okay, well, that's all the time we have for part 2, but we will definitely see you in part 3.
We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Dorothy begins her long journey. On the path, she meets the Scarecrow, Tin Woodman, and Cowardly Lion. The first wants a brain, the second longs for a heart, and the third desires to be brave. They become friends and work together to reach the Emerald City. There, they tell the Great Wizard their wishes. Oz agrees to help them, but they must kill a wicked witch first. The friends accept the task and go to the witch's land. The witch doesn't make it easy for them. However, the friends succeed in the end.
我们来复习一下这一课的重点单字跟文法。单字的部分 begin 动词开始 path 名词道路 brave 形容词勇敢的 succeed 动词成功 brain 名词头脑智慧。接着我们来看文法的部分 long for something 渴望某事物When I was little, I longed for a younger sister. 我小时候非常想要有个妹妹。Make it easy, 使变得轻松容易。Life is already hard enough, and you're not making it easier. 生活已經夠辛苦了，你還不讓日子好過一點。In the end, 最終最後。Bill didn't go to the party in the end.Bill 最後沒有參加派對。好啦，以上是今天的重點單字跟文法，那我們下一次再見嘍，拜拜。
Hey Kiki, you done mincing the carrots?
Yeah, I think I'm doing it right.
What are you doing?
I'm mincing.
No, that is not mincing.
You know there are different verbs to cutting vegetables, right?
Oh, I thought mincing is just cutting up vegetables.
Okay, let me teach you a few things. Let's explore some words that we use in the kitchen with a knife.
The first one we're going to do is slice our cucumber. So when we are slicing, we are cutting things into thin, flat pieces.
Yes, just like when you slice a loaf of bread, it's very thin slice. Next up, we have diced tomatoes, so we have to dice our tomatoes.
So when you're dicing something, you're basically cutting something into chunks, and they don't have to be the exact same size. So they're just little small cubes, and you can kind of think of like a dice that we roll. They are like a little square or a little cube.
Right. Now let's move on to mincing our carrots.
Here we already have Winnie who has cut our carrots into little matchsticks. And when we mince something, we're basically cutting something into fine, small pieces, like this. Very small and fine. That's a fine mincing job, Winnie.
You see what you did there?
Now we're going to cube our cooked chicken.
Right, that means we cut something into evenly sized cubes.
So what's the difference between cube and dice?
When you're dicing something, it doesn't really matter if they are different sizes, whereas when you're cubing something, they're relatively the same size.
Here we've started to chop our onion. And chopping is a very generalized term. It's basically when we're cutting our meats or vegetables into different or rough pieces. They don't all have to be the same. We have finally finished preparing our salad. Today we learned lots of different ways to cut things.
Yeah, for example, you can slice something, dice something, chop something, cube something, or mince something.
So I guess it's finally time to enjoy our salad. Wait, what about the dressing?